a little more of a serious video today, and I'm hoping there's some tips in it that can help a lot of people out there. And that is all about Diet Coke and getting off that habit. And I can say I'm just about off my Diet Coke habit, and I've got some tips that I think can be helpful to other people as well. So in the last 10 to 15 years, I'm probably a 6+ can a day Diet Coke drinker, and it's really my only vice. I don't smoke, I don't drink a lot. If I have a beer a month, that'd be crazy for me. I just don't have many vices, but Diet Coke was my one go-to. I knew it was a vice, I knew it was a kind of a guilty pleasure type thing, and before I used to be on just regular soda, and then my wife started drinking Diet Coke, and I didn't like the taste of Diet Coke. I didn't like that aftertaste from the artificial sweeteners and whatnot. But as I gradually tried to get off of regular Pepsi at the time and get away from the sugar, I gradually moved over into Diet Coke, and then pretty soon I wasn't tasting the aftertaste at all and just became a Diet Coke addict. So about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks, I was reading an article online, and it was about the health risks in diet soda. It was just another of the latest, greatest kind of scare type articles. It talked mostly about women and them being susceptible to this. But one thing that hit me at the time, you know, I knew I shouldn't be drinking as much Diet Coke as I was, really not even in moderation because of the artificial sweetener and whatnot. But I knew I had to get off of it. And there's no articles out there that say diet soda is good for you at all, right? Most of them say it's going to have a negative long-term effect. These sweeteners, you know, it's all just basically a 12-ounce can of chemicals, high fructose corn syrup or whatever's in it. And there's nothing ever good to be said about drinking diet sodas. Most of them will say, well, it's not conclusive, it hasn't been proven, but all indicators are towards negative things happening because of consuming, you know, one Diet Coke a day, let alone 6 to 8 like I was on. I've sort of got to get to the point of enough is enough and get sick of something before I do something about it. About 3 months ago, I started using a trainer. I was getting in better shape. I was building some muscle, and I've never been a water drinker, right? Like I said, my guilty pleasure has always been soda. To be honest, I think that comes from when I was a kid. We weren't allowed to drink diet soda that often. We just didn't have it in the house, and I think it was more of an affordability type thing as opposed to health restriction at all. But so then as an adult, you know, I left the house at 17, went in the military. I could have soda whenever I wanted to, and I just got in that habit of always having a soda, and now enough is enough. I've never really liked water. My wife drinks, I don't know, she may drink a gallon of water a day. She just craves water like that. I drink water and I'm like, there's no flavor to it. I don't get it. So in addition to 6 to 8 Diet Cokes a day, I was drinking, I don't know, a glass or less, and probably more often less, water a day. And I just wasn't getting any. So occasionally I drink that Crystal Light tea, and I still have a glass of that. That has an artificial sweetener in it as well, but it's not as much as 6 to 8 cans of Diet Coke. Consuming that, putting that in my body. So that, and I sort of convinced myself, well, I make that out of water, right? Put that in the half-gallon container and mix that up, fill it full of water and whatnot. And so I was getting a form of water in my body, but it wasn't really doing it for me. My biggest motivator for getting off the Diet Coke was really my wife. And ironically, she's the one who got me onto diet soda. But she got me off of regular soda. So I think she was just trying to go with the lesser of the evils, because I was pretty resistant. I felt like I had to have something. So in getting off this, first of all, just the mindset, I said, okay, I've got to stop. Usually at my desk at work, I sit down a lot during the day. You know, I'd have a Diet Coke there, nice cold one. And I had to change that up for something else. So I thought, well, I'm going to give water a shot. Again, I don't really care for the flavor of water, whatnot. So I started drinking water and bringing it to work with me. And I was trying to go through two 32-ounce containers a day. So here's what I do. My son gave me one of these bottles, nice thermos bottle, and put a lid on it. And so I try to go through 2 of these a day. And to be honest, I'm finding that it's not nearly as difficult as I thought. And in addition, with the training at the gym, I ingest more water there, or I take this with me now. So some days I'm getting up to 3 of this, and I'm not having to choke it down. I'm not having to force feed myself. But there's something else that I used in order to sort of wean myself off of the Diet Coke. So in weaning myself off the Diet Coke, I still wanted that carbonation. I wanted, just the fizz, the cold. I wanted that feeling of the carbonated beverage going down my throat. I don't know what the hell it was, but I needed something. I couldn't just do it cold turkey. And so I'm talking to a young man who works with me in our office, and he brings up this product called Zevia, and here it is right here. And you can see this. Zevia. Zevia. And it's a 0-calorie soda. And they make different flavors of this. They have a Dr. Zevia, right? Dr. Pepper. They have a Mountain Zevia, right? Mountain Dew. Then they have a cola like this one. They have a root beer. They have a ginger ale. And so I went to the store. I found it in the health food section at Kroger. It was all the way down on the bottom thing. For a 6-pack, it cost $5. So they're not exactly cheap, but I thought, well, maybe that would help me. So I ended up getting a root beer, a ginger ale, and a cola, just to try to taste those, test them out, and see how they worked. So what I needed to do was get them as cold as possible. Now, here's the thing. This is a clear soda, all right? So this soda has no sugar, no artificial sweeteners. It does have caffeine in it. The ginger ale and the root beer do not have caffeine in it. This is it's vegan certified. It's Circle U kosher certified, and it's gluten free. I really don't care about all those things. I'm just worried about the artificial sweetener. So I got it real cold. I cracked it open. I tasted it, and when I drink Diet Coke now, I don't taste that aftertaste that you taste when you're going from, say, a regular Coke, or you're a regular soda drinker and you taste a diet. You always get that aftertaste, okay? Once you get used to diet soda, you don't get that aftertaste any longer. So I drank this, and guess what? That same feeling of an aftertaste when I first started drinking diet soda was what I started getting with this, okay? And it wasn't pleasurable. This has stevia leaf extract in it for the sweetener. And so I thought it was a pretty harsh aftertaste, and I drank it in the can purposely because I knew if I put it in a glass, it's clear. Mentally, I would know, well, it's not diet soda, it's something else. It's like a carbonated water or a sweetened water, something like that. Still trying to pull the wool over my eyes, right? So I just drink it out of the can, so I don't even see that it's clear, just in case that dark soda, the Diet Coke, was, mentally doing it for me or something like this. I wanted to mimic Diet Coke as closely as I could. I didn't go to 6 or 8 of these Zevias a day. Number one, they're expensive, but number two, it still had that harsh aftertaste. The root beer, not so much. The ginger ale is pretty good. The cola, I think, probably has the worst. I didn't try the other ones, but the trick to them is you got to keep them ice cold. Ice cold, they go down really easy. If you let it warm up or it sits there too long, you'll start that aftertaste will even seem more severe. So what I did was I just had one in the morning. That was usually my morning coffee. Since I don't drink coffee, was the first thing on my way to work. I'm putting down a Diet Coke. That's how I get my caffeine fix. This does have caffeine in it, so I thought, okay, that would be a 1-for-1 on the caffeine, but I wouldn't be putting the artificial sweetener in my brain. And so as I started drinking, I probably drank 2 a day, maybe something like this, and that was enough to give me that fix of still drinking a soda or a carbonated beverage. Another time I would drink this would be if I have lunch at my desk during the day. I usually have a Diet Coke there, so I pulled out one of these and I would drink that. And so the harsh aftertaste, although I think it got less after a couple weeks, it's still, for me, unpleasurable enough to where I don't really care to drink it, but I'm still drinking it as a replacement for the Diet Coke. And again, I'm working more, not so much on the physical aspect of it, but the mental aspect of it. And so it tastes off just enough to where I got to the point where I could say, well, I could really take it or leave it. And then I was just looking for the caffeine fix. I wasn't looking for the soda carbonation type fix, right? And so I still drink a couple of those, maybe over the course of a week now, maybe 2 a week, and usually in the morning, and I get that caffeine fix. So as I'm not getting 6 to 8 Diet Cokes a day, I'm putting less caffeine in my body. I'm not replacing it with coffee or some other caffeine fix. And I probably had the caffeine absent headaches that you get or you hear about. I probably had those for about 3 or 4 days, and they weren't so bad. Take some ibuprofen, they would go away. So that wasn't so much of a challenge for me at all. So after about 6 weeks now, maybe 5 to 6 weeks, where am I at? So I think the last time I had, today is Sunday, I think the last Diet Coke I had was last Wednesday. And to be honest, I had it out of convenience because I ran out of this. And I thought, I'm telling myself, well, one Diet Coke doesn't really matter. Here's what's really good, okay? And that is, the longer you go without the Diet Coke, when you go back to it, it doesn't taste as good as it did before. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because I'm ingesting more water. I don't know if maybe I'm just coming off the habit. And so now I'm not quite there, but I'm almost in when I was drinking full-blooded sugar sodas, right? And I tasted diet sodas, you really don't like that aftertaste. I'm not back to that, but I can detect the aftertaste in regular Diet Coke now, whereas before, doing 6 to 8 a day, I couldn't. And so it's actually less pleasurable to me now than it was 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, or definitely 6 weeks ago. And I think that's the key to this Zevia helping me get off that kick. Not like this so much, making diet soda or just soda in general enough of a taste disincentive, and that along with maybe having a Diet Coke once a week now, and it not tasting quite as good. Really, right now I could take it or leave it in terms of drinking diet soda, and just about take it or leave it in drinking a carbonated beverage or a soda in general. I'll admit, though, mentally I'm still sort of looking for that vice or that fix. I'm not going to take up smoking. I'm not going to take up drinking. But I'm since I've been using a trainer, trying to eat a little better. I wouldn't call it a diet. I'm just not trying to go out for lunches every day, business lunches, things like that, which I could probably get away with every single day. So I eat at my desk and I get a lean cuisine or something like that. I'm not going hungry at all, right? But in the process, I've probably lost about 12 pounds, and but I put on a lot of muscle. Not a lot of muscle. I put on some muscle, but I'm feeling a lot better. And here's something else. So I'm 53 years old, and I've got a large prostate, right? Benign, all that good stuff, just like middle-aged males get. And so waking up in the middle of the night, which was 3 or 4 times before, now drinking a half gallon of water a day, guess what? That's down to 1 time a night. So I'm seeing benefits in multiple areas, right? I feel better when I'm working out. I'm taking in more water. I don't detest water like I did before. It's like anything else. I think you just learn to get the flavor of it. I don't crave water by any means. I'm not, a water jockey carrying my bottle on all the time, can't get enough of it. I'm not going to be that guy, right? But I'm drinking more when I work out. I drink some throughout the day. I'm getting 2 or 3 of those 32-ounce containers down without any challenge at all. I'm not ingesting that 12-ounce can of chemicals anymore, maybe once or twice a week, and next week could be zero. And so all of that combined together, I can see the health effects of it. Now, maybe someday they'll come out with a study that says that the artificial sweeteners in diet sodas are perfectly fine, and although we were worried about them before, it turns out they actually help you, right? I don't know if I would then start up a diet soda habit again, just because I'm drinking that murky dark brown stuff, and I know deep down that can't be as good for me as just straight up water is. But I'm still looking for that fix, a treat, if you would. And I'm getting that a little bit through the Crystal Light tea, and I'm working on going to just straight tea, unsweetened, which even when I was a kid, I couldn't stand that stuff. As an adult, I can take it more, but the Crystal Light's kind of a nice little binge for me, and I'm not putting quite as much of that artificial sweetener in my body, and soon I'll be able to get off that as well and be a normal human being. I don't know, but the big thing is, again, I'm 53. I've got plans. I want to be around. I want to be in good health for all that stuff, and I think if I can get off something like Diet Coke, I think it can't be anything but better for me, an improvement. And I hope some of this helps or gives somebody tips on getting off their Diet Coke habit, because I know I've Googled the hell out of it. I've watched YouTube videos on it. Most of them are just kind of scare tactics and tell you what it does to your brain and whatnot. But here, I think I've got a few tips that can help you ease through that process. And I know it's working for me, and I'm one of those people, if it can work for me, I think it can work for anybody. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.